death, dying, and greed. Hello, tonight we're going to be, what are we doing? Oh, we're talking about spiritual wisdom around death and dying, including understanding our 5 charted exit points and why maintaining joy and purpose in life literally protects our health and auras.
And we're also discussing the differences between greed, jealousy, and envy, and how to find the golden thread through situations where someone's greed is damaging your life or your relationships.
From understanding when loved ones pass to recognizing true friendship and fighting for what's right, we have a great conversation ahead today as we listen to trance recordings from Sylvia Browne.
And for new viewers, if you're curious about who's talking in tonight's recordings, check out the intro of any of our past videos, which will explain Sylvia Browne's process as a trance medium. Very cool.
With that, welcome to the New Spirit Radio with host Catherine Taylor and Reverend Catherine Taylor and Reverend Tom Bigley.
Hello, it's so good to see you. And
you're over there. There you are. Good.
How's it going?
Well,
amazing,
we are in
amazing.
Hi and howdy for everybody that's joining. Yes, we did get started a little bit late. We are here and take a few minutes. Hope that thing fast forward to catch us up together. For new people, I wanted to share a quick outline of what our show is entertaining us with. First, we'd like to start out with some announcements. Then we get into our favorite segment we call How Did You Use Nova Spiritus Philosophy? If you're familiar with that, now's the fun time to start typing in the comments. That's followed by special prayers and a moment of silence. Then we get into the trance segments. This is a new trance class we're starting tonight. That's followed by meditation, then some closing notes. And wait for it. We have a special prayer ceremony that we call a novena that I will talk about later. That's followed by appreciation, and we conclude with a prayer by Sylvia. If you're interested in getting your comments posted on the video on the marquee on the bottom, write them in there. And when we start talking about things, I'll do what I can to make those show up, especially at the very end when we hear the prayer by Sylvia. Yeah, prayer by Sylvia. Oh, if you're in a good place for it, if the venue you're at approves of fire and you're hello, what happened here? Fireproof candle. Ow. There we go. I hope that works better. All right. If you're by all means where you're at, if it's a good thing to do, safe thing to do, light yourself a candle. Otherwise, find those flickery LED things. They just look cute. Oh, let's see. Quick announcements. Again, welcome to all the new subscribers and followers. I'm not sure if you want to help others benefit from this content, but you can help pay it forward and promote this content. How? On Facebook, if you'd share, like, and follow. And on YouTube, if you'd subscribe, give thumbs up, and maybe even click on that bell. You can also donate using credit card, Venmo, or PayPal by going to our website. Our finance system or whatever bank account does also accept Zelle money transfers. If you're familiar with that, you can send funds, whether it's donation or purchasing things through Zelle, and you can send it to office@novus.org. Take a deep breath. I don't know if you need a gardener for inner growth, but like a gardener prunes, nurtures, and waters plants so they thrive, Chris Dufresne helps nurture and guide your inner growth. Don't miss out on Chris question specials with email notifications, which you can do by going to his website, chrisrightnow.com, and get signed up. You'll hear about what is coming up, or you can even get a whole personal reading scheduled in. Facebook users, if you're new to Facebook, let's see. Facebook will delete videos after 30 days. So if you're looking for the older material, you'll have to go to some place like YouTube. Also, Facebook users, if you would like us to be seen in our chat, or your name seen in our chat, you've got to go and click on the link in our description that says talkstudiostreamlabs.com/Facebook and accept the permissions. Why? I'm not sure. It's a Facebook issue, but fortunately, it seems like it's a one-time thing. Well, and now we have our favorite segment called "How Did You Use Nova Spiritus Philosophy Last Week?" I'd like to offer Kat a chance to go first, or point at one direction. Who's going? One caveat: I didn't do my homework, but I'm not
Okay, I'll volunteer to go first.
something.
Okay, I'll volunteer to go first. First of all, I'm so happy to be here today and just sending just authentic amounts of just true appreciation to everyone listening out there, and just hoping that whatever messages or information or philosophy finds you today, that it that you can take away something beautiful. Take what you want, leave the rest, as Sylvia always liked to say. What I used of Nova's philosophy, there were a couple things that come to mind. I took our approach to going to the doctor and medical care. I invoked that this week, where I tried to do things at home to just kind of manage some frustrations that I was having with health, and then said, you know what, heck with it, just go to the doctor, rule things out. And that is exactly what I did. Doctor was very, very nice, and he told me something that I was pretty sure was going to come back as being not an issue, and came back not an issue. And I personally, on the inside, felt myself disagreeing with the quick diagnosis, but it was fine because they just ruled out all the things that I wanted to make sure were not problems. And then came home, had a beautiful discussion with Jason to say, let's, what kind of positivity we're going to make from this, and have anti-inflammatory diets and anti-inflammatory types of suggestions that Rahim has given us, and that are in our Journey of Souls 3, and that all of that felt very positive and very good, and I didn't let it ruin my day, and was like, let's just check the box, make sure the Western medicine part is taken care of, and that was a good thing overall. And I'll say one other thing. I noticed myself in the midst of health, like a health kerfluffle, being extremely irritable. And so we had recently had a discussion about managing our own irritation levels. And so I thought about that discussion, and I told a couple other people, I was like, hey, I'm in a bad mood. It has nothing to do with you. I apologize if I'm coming off a certain way. And I stayed to myself throughout the whole day. And I thought to myself, from what we heard last time, Francine said, if you notice yourself, like, try not to be too hard on yourself if you're in a bad mood. Try not to be too hard on yourself if you are having a depression episode, or whatever that looks like, any sort of mood kerfluffle. And just tell yourself, I'm going to come out of this okay. And so that's what I did. Kept to myself, managed my own feelings, didn't go popping off taking it out on anyone. And just told myself, I'm going to come out of this okay. And I put myself in time out. I put myself in time out. I was like, this is too much irritation to inflict on other people. Oh my goodness. So that's what I did. And
personal time out. All right.
Put myself in time out. I absolutely did.
That's like, I mean, it seems like it kind of ties with what my mentioning last week about visualizing. We want to get rid of that tulpa, as it were, of the inner child.
Right.
And Francine had mentioned, how the difference between a tyrant and a well-mannered child. and I escalated that to, oh, what about a well-mannered, emotionally well-mannered adult,
Mm.
as it were? And so that kind of goes along with, well, you deserve a timeout.
Yeah, I suppose I'm kind of proud of myself when you put it in those terms.
Yeah.
I put myself in timeout. Oh my gosh, that's funny. I thought, what as you bring that up, I want to say I was really I thought that was so fascinating. The times in the past, it was years ago when we talked about inner child, when Raheem was talking about inner
Yeah.
child, and it was so fascinating because he's like, get that child to grow up. Like you got like, and I
Right.
still notice other people in my field really doing a lot of inner child work and like going back to that young age and then staying there. But the whole point that Francine and Raheem would always say is to help the child grow up,
Right.
and not be babyfied on the inside.
Right.
And
That's, to me, that's our base. No, I'm not sure if that's the right word, but the origins of our emotion, what our spontaneity, our excitement, that's in you don't you want to encourage the emotion you want, because this is an emotional planet. These are emotional lessons we're dealing with.
Mhm.
And I don't think we want to be viewing the world in a babyfied view, or with,
Yeah.
instead of rose-colored glasses, you're using babyfied glasses. You want to have that mature, well-mannered
Yes.
view.
Yes. All when I think about it after having had time and like years to kind of contemplate that notion, right? I view it now as me and my adult self, my maturing, aging self, gracefully aging self, caveat for positive programming,
Yeah.
is we've got so much more tools available to us, including whimsy and things that are joyful and childlike in a positive way.
Right.
There's all the tools available. So it's not cutting it off completely. It's just being able to have that intellect and emotion be in dialogue,
Yeah.
being healthy adult dialogues that, yeah, you've got a well-mannered response to something. Yeah, it's very, very
Spontaneity.
interesting. Yes,
Spontaneity. Oh, that's
beautiful
fun.
things.
Great.
Beautiful. Yes.
It's yeah, okay. Now I'm just beating on the notion about,
Mhm.
the inner child. Well, hey, it's our
Yeah,
emotion that we want to get out, and
help grow,
yeah,
mature. Yeah.
yeah.
Couple comments while we're talking about this. Joni says, "Aging is not easy." Oh, queen. Yes. Definitely agree. But we can I try to invite it to be as graceful as possible, whatever that looks like. And
Right.
I mean,
That's
that's so much of what we talk
everybody's
about every week here. Yeah.
right. To thine own self be true.
Mhm. Um, uh, Sammy says, yes, I had to put myself in timeout when I got home today too. Oh no, I'm sending you grace. Like wishes for grace. Whatever it is that you need to do. Reverend Danny's here. Hello, Reverend Danny. He says, I'm very interested in anti-inflammatory diet. And he also adds that he got the job that he interviewed for us. And thank you for the prayers to everyone. Congratulations. Fantastic. I'm really glad to hear it. Okay, I guess I can pause there. Has anything come up for you about what you've used in the past week of Novus philosophy, either way, shape, or form?
My partner in Rosie, I was having an odd discussion with, not odd, but it's like trying to define it. Wife, fiance, partner. What do you want? What do you want to label it? And
Beautiful. Mhm.
anyway, Rosie was getting excited about, or ecstatic, and reminding both of us of how often we're both seeing significant numbers on the clock.
Hmm.
Our gaze just is catching a time, unique times for us on the clock, and we text them to each other, try and get it done before the time changes. So I look
great.
at Trinity numbers.
Mhm.
Can you do? No, you can through what Trinity numbers in essence that pop up, or 1111 or 1212, those kind of things. How many times your attention is drawn to that, and we text each other when that happens. Oh, wow, cool. And she was expressing today how astounded how many times we're catching those things. It's not like we're
Oh,
sitting at
interesting.
we're not sitting there waiting for it. It's our gaze happens to be looking at it. Oh, look, look at the time. And it's not, no, it's not for us. For me, it's like, oh, I'm at the right place at the right time. It's that simple.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's beautiful.
it's just saying, okay, don't be worried so much. It's just a reminder. I'm not in an anxious state. Typically not in an anxious state. It's just a confirmation of I'm at the right place at the right time.
Hmm.
She still is wondering what's the message. Is there something, we're not getting audible messages that say, oh, pay attention to whatever. No, it's just, this is something for us, and it's relatively simple for us. For me, it's that reminder of, and she's still wondering what it could be, if it's something else that she should be concerned or aware of or whatever. And nothing else has come to mind for either of us. So I'm just sticking to I'm at the right place at the right time. I'm doing the right thing, paying attention, being that not so, what's the right word? Not so worried about what my next thing is, not so much in my head.
Good for you. That makes me really happy to hear.
Wondering about what I should be doing next. It's, oh, okay, but just giving myself time to relax and think in a relaxed state, instead of a worried and oh my god, I gotta that kind of constant motivation of, oh, I should be thinking about, should be doing, what can I do, what. It's like where when does it become enjoyable to do something and not be in a fire alarm emergency to get through, just to go do something.
That makes me really happy to hear for you. That's great. That's so great. Just being able to relax, like in the moment, like, okay, now it's time to be present, have that validation,
right.
Know that the other side is with us, and just letting go of that anxiety. That's a beautiful gift. That's a beautiful experience. I'm so glad.
Thanks.
It's really cool. Yeah. Kristen over on Facebook says, yes, I've noticed significant numbers for the last month, and taking it as it that we're protected and on track. That's beautiful. And oh yeah, no, that's great. That's great. I think that's it for now on that particular. But if you'd like, I could keep reading through some comments here and see what folks are sharing. Oh, for anyone who's listening and you're at a keyboard, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube, now is the time to share what is it that you used of Novus philosophy or your spirituality in the last week, as well as any validations, prayer requests. We'll be very, very happy to read those as you share them. So going over what folks have already posted. Carmita's here and is doing a craft for someone. That's very lovely. Hello to Stephanie and Tangela and Ron over on Facebook. So great to have you. Hello to Ramona, Yvonne, Cheryl, Jorge. Jorge says, I'm very thankful to God for my 2-week vacation. I didn't realize how tired and angry I was until I stopped and rested. Oh.
Time out.
Time out. That was the time out. Good for you. Good for you. I'm really glad that you took that rest. Good for you. Reverend Danny says, I warned my family that I may be irresponsible for the next few weeks because my new job is physically demanding. Oh, that's a really good, like, preparing to so you can understand, so they understand.
Yeah.
If your mood is in a different place. Oh, that's great. Good luck, by the way. I'm definitely cheering for you, and I hope that it's a smooth an experience and positive an experience as possible. Hello to Kaija D. So good to see you. Carolyn, Thomas, Jose. Oh, so many wonderful folks here. Oh, it's really exciting. Ramona says it's a solve for the soul every week here. So glad to hear that.
Nice.
Definitely, yeah. It's beautiful.
Put that in the comments at the end. That'll look nice.
Yeah. Cheryl shares, I was able to release emotion at yoga. Marvelous. That's absolutely marvelous. Point of information, in case anyone was curious, on the trances a long time ago, Francine mentioned in some of like the lost years, the quote unquote lost years of Jesus, that in his time in India, he spent as part of his learning, he really, really loved doing yoga and believed in exploring a lot of the spiritual, emotional, intellectual, and physical things that can happen inside the person through the practice of yoga. I thought that was so fascinating. So, yeah, literally walking in a path that's something of something that Jesus did. It's really, really neat. Ramona says, keep elevating up your spiritual ladder, my Gnostic friends and warriors. Amen. Garden says, good evening, everyone. I've been handwriting all the Chris Dufresne shorts in a journal, and it's been great for positive thoughts. That is really cool. That's beautiful. Hello, Moonlit Mom. Great to see you. Reverend Danny says, yeah, quiet the mind chatter. Good for you, Tom. Let's see here. Kristen says, Tom's novena stays with me. Yeah, that's really cool. Joni says, prayer request for my granddaughter, Scarlett. Yeah, she's 5 years old today, but woke up with 104 temperature and very sick. Be very, very glad to keep her in our prayers during our next moment of prayer in just a moment. And ongoing prayers. Ron, is it cold where you're at? I'm just curious. Just saw one of his comments. Very curious. Oh, Reverend Danny clarifies that he meant to say irritable and it's not irresponsible. He could be irritable. It's okay. It's totally understandable.
Don't those go together?
It can be. Can be.
Well, at least it's forewarning. That's good.
I'm gonna go do some irresponsible cooking for two weeks. Excuse me, people. That's great. Love it.
Well, now exchange that comment with irritable. I'm going to do some irritable cooking.
I'm going to go do some irritable cooking. Oh my goodness gracious. Oh, that's good to laugh. Moonlit Mom shares, well, I'm currently reading The Two Marys and already finished The Mystical Life of Jesus. And it's absolutely changed my life. Also, my life has never been better and more thriving than in the past year. That is incredible to hear. Pray that positivity just keeps barreling forward as we go into this 2026 and beyond. Reverend Danny says, looking for Qigong or yoga class. Cool. Yeah. Once it warms up a bit, I want to go back to Tai Chi. Qigong is great. I've really enjoyed Qigong in the past. Tangela says, hello, Tangela. She says, I was looking for my book from Carl Symington and just now found money had put away last year and couldn't find it. Can't find the book, but I found the money.
All right.
Nice. That's so interesting. We're talking about Carl Symington today. That's really, that's so, love the synchronicity. It's great. And then Ron shares, very cold, going down to the low teens tonight. Burr, I'm thinking I've been teleported back to Chi-town? I don't know where you're referencing. Oh, Chi-town. Okay. Well, stay warm, my friend. Sending you cozy thoughts, and then to everybody, we're looking forward to a really good conversation today. So we are going to be talking about some very relatable things today. So really looking forward to it. Chicago, he says. Oh, thank you.
Chi-town. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, Chicago's very cold.
Yeah.
Chicago's very cold. All right.
Now it's time for special prayers.
Yes.
What I encourage you to do, if you're new to our program, visualize what the solution is, the outcome. What do you want to see happen? And we're going to ask for the archetypes, archangels, Mother God, and even our spirit guides to get involved, get in some influence out there. We're going to stop and put out that energy, put out those requests. We're the ones that have to ask. Yes, there's a lot going on. Pick something that caught your attention over the last week or today, and we're all let's take a moment of silence and ask for good outcomes. And of course, we want to say for the greater good. So let's take a moment of silence. Amen. Let's see. And if you'd like to post, posting in the comments does make it public. However, if you're looking to post things that are private, go to our website, look for the prayer chain. So you can post a special prayer in there. Yes, we're including all of those prayers together. Let's see. Oh, and my favorite phrase, be the prayer. If you see need, fill it. Now it's time for Trance segments. Fun reminder, we're recalling things. We have not pre-researched this material. We are listening to recordings. And just as you're hearing it, yes, some of this we've heard, but we haven't done any research. This is, we work together on how it fits for us, and we're doing what we can. Kat and I are doing what we can to share with you, one, how it fits in our lives, and two, how it can help you as well. If there's something, we find, hey, wait a minute, that didn't sound right, or something, tell us about it. Look it up and tell us where you found it, because by all means, we're happy to go look it up as well and present the information, so we all keep this information true to the word.
Mm-hmm.
So what are we listening to? What is going to be shared?
So today, our first segment, we're going to be listening to Francine starting to talk about the 5 exit points and how they work. So in other words, if anyone's new, that's basically the explanation for why is it that some people seem to die young. that's what we're going to really be talking about today. Additionally, I'm going to hear about how you have to keep some happiness and reason to live for in yourself, and as well as someone who might be near an exit point. Otherwise, the aura can start to break down. And clarification that exit points are not suicides. They are charted events. So I'm going to hear about this.
Got it. All right. Let's jump in.
The last time we spoke, I told you that there would be an end to a lot of dissension that had been in your lives between the middle of this month to the middle of next month. Within the start of this coming Friday, is that your 15th?
Yes,
to the 15th of October, the pain and stress and antagonism and things that have not been settled, I promise you will come to an end within that time. After most of you going through, from what I'm told from your guides, a 5-year hellish period. And if you track back 5 years, this will give you to the fall of 84, starting almost identically at that point, in which everything that you tried to do did not get done. Anything that you were supposed to have happened was not completed. Everything has been elongated. It's almost as if time has warped. Now, has this happened universally? No. Only to white entities. Dark entities are not affected because they do not care. As I've told you, this is their home planet, and they are perfectly within their own realm to face anything. In fact, they enjoy it. Tonight, I would like to talk to you because I know it's been very much in the hearts of all of you. And since I'm always around right before I come in and listen to conversations, I know that some people are very concerned about the death and dying of loved ones. For a long period of time, there has been no deaths. And this year now has been an occurrence of many, many dying. You have lost a brother. There's been many people who have crossed over. There are periods, if you look in your life, in which there are, and you don't have to be of any age. People always think it's because you grow older, and of course that is a factor. But it is a time in which deaths come in conglomerate masses. It's like the old superstition that deaths come in threes. But there is such a thing as people will forecast to go with each other. How many of you know people who die soon after their mate? With this death and dying, passing, cleans out not only the person's life, but also releases you. And that's the way I would like for you to look at it. I also want you to consider the fact that everyone is accepting, I should use the word accepting, of 5 exit points in their life. The 5 exit points have to do with an illness, a near-death experience by an accident, a near fatality. It can be a small accident that turns into something very severe. But everyone has 5 times in which they can go out. During that period of time, everything is possible to fight and get out of that. In other words, think about the times in which, in your life, if you count, I bet you have had exit points. In other words, a near-miss accident, a time when you were in the hospital, a period of time in which you could have gone, but you didn't. And the reason why you didn't is because you did not give up, or there was something beyond yourself that kept you here. If there is nothing beyond yourself to keep you here, you will go. Regardless of what anyone does or says, your chart will exit you. Regardless of stress or timing or whatever. Strangely enough, people will get through tremendous times of stress and then die. It's almost like the relaxing after the crisis. So your defenses must be up all the time to make sure that you have a reason or some happiness within your life to live for. When you begin to give up and despair, that's when things break through your aura. And if a person is meant to go, you see, any one of these exit points are valid. In other words, that is not a suicide. Sylvia always quotes the doctor friend of hers that did not remember during his conscious state, but when he went through regression with her, he actually told her of a time in which he turned the motorcycle rather than head right into the car. But he deliberated on whether to go into the car or not. Now, consciously, he didn't remember this, but in a subconscious state, he did recall. So he actually made the conscious gesture to either die or to stay alive. Medically, we are told that if you have heart trouble, cancer, diabetes, or any innumerable other things, that you're going to die, which is so ridiculous because you are all dying. In life, you die. I'm not dying, you are dying. I'm already dead in your vernacular. And let me tell you something, it's far more pleasant than what you're going through. The death actuality, and it sounds like such a morbid subject, is very pleasant. The leading up to the death can be very horrendous. And that has to do many times with how we're treated. And as your friend Pat so clinically dissected or made to feel terminal. And there is no termination. There is always, as long as there is hope and fight. But apparently within our own chart there's something more that this person, or let's say someone else, has to complete before they can go on living. It's the glitch, it's the bump in the road. To get over it without going flat on it. And the thing that you have to do then is to pump up the tires so they get over it. Now, let's look at the option that Sylvia's facing, that her mother has just been diagnosed as having cancer. Is Sylvia going to fight with her mother, or is she going to let her go? Her mother is 87 years old. This is another thing entirely. Is this worth to put a woman of this age at 87 through chemotherapy? Absolutely not, a radiation. No. In fact, that's more apt, as I said once, when the cure is worse. In a case of an elderly person like this, it's not worth it. Her father also has cancer, so she will see them both go almost simultaneously. And as I said, deaths come in clumps, don't they? And so the faith factor of knowing where everyone is going And to know that you've lived your life as good as you possibly can, and being able to face it. But also with, let's take Armida, for instance, who is not ready to go and has a lot of life, which I do agree with that, then the fight must go on. That life is precious and it must be held to. And I think that we forget, or we don't know Gnostically, that when someone gets cancer or what we call a terminal illness, of course we on our side call life a terminal illness, but a termination, people have a tendency to pull back when everyone should go forward and lend their hands in healing. And if that person is absolutely convicted of going, then there's no power on earth, because that God Center has decided to go. But at least then what you do is you give aid and healing and make the restoration as well as you possibly can to let them ease out, slide out, rather than bang sideways on the door getting out.
Now, there's a visual for you, banging your way out the tunnel on the way to the other side.
Oh, goodness, yes.
A little disturbing.
Oh, goodness, yes.
A quick reminder, just because, I'm not sure how familiar people are with what's discussed and how things are talked about. When it's very common that Francine, Sylvia, and Raheem talk about dark entities, dark souls, and white entities. And it's a reference to the soul color. Who's dark entities.
Inside.
Right. It's about the soul on the inside, not skin color. Are they mean? Are they nice? Are they? It's, we're not judging. We're not here to judge. It's more of, it's helping us identify, hey, should we deal with this person or stay away from them?
Yeah. There can be, we've heard many times in these trances that a person who is a white entity, again, on the inside, that a white entity is someone who believes that there is goodness in the world, that is something that can be worked for. Does that mean that the white entity is perfect? No. Some white entities are murderers. Some white entities choose themes of persecutor or victimizer in order for other people to learn. And that's why it becomes extremely difficult, and why we strongly discourage looking out into wherever we are and saying, like, oh, this person is, the worst, most horrible person. We really try to make it about judging actions, not judging the person, because we don't know all the time if someone is right away that they are a psychopath, or we don't know all the times that someone right away is a gray entity. A gray entity is someone who's a fence sitter. They haven't decided if they want to commit to good deeds or not. And sometimes those folks can look like someone with borderline personality disorder, whereas they can really, really vacillate back and forth between doing horrible actions and then come around and be like, wait, I feel kind of guilty about what I did. And they just seem perpetually confused, and they are terrible for us to deal with, because we look at them going, like, feeling like we're crazy trying to understand this person, because they haven't settled on the inside, on the deep inside between, am I good? Am I bad? So we try to keep it about actions, and always never judging people by skin color, never judging by orientation or anything like that. It's always like, is this person being nice, and are they being helpful, or are they really, really causing horrible problems and taking like glee and being destructive people who just want to get away?
Yeah. Greed, avarice, mean. I was thinking about
destructive.
Destructive, disruptive,
very destructive, disruptive.
And what is it? You might see them nice, and yet the others, think of the stories of serial killers. Everybody close to the serial killer thinks they're like wonderful people, yet here they are in the background where nobody sees what they're doing. They're doing these horrific things.
Yeah. So
Anybody
very difficult to judge.
anybody share some comments about what we just listened to?
Yes, we've got a number of wonderful comments. There's a discussion on YouTube happening where somebody asked, did anyone get any signs, like divine signs recently? And Ramona shared that she got a rose, and there's a lot of discussion about that. You can always ask Mother God for a flower or for a rose, and it's always a sign that she is around and with us, and that we are in her heart. And it's a really, really beautiful sign to have someone to like get a rose across your path. Some other comments. Gardens shares about signs. Did I ever tell you guys about finding a gigantic bouquet of 100 or more roses on a restaurant counter, overflowing and totally out of place, after asking Asna, Mother God, for a sign? That it was a working petition. Wow, that's amazing. Gardens continues, I asked Mother God to show me a sign that she was working on my petition, and she heard me. That's incredibly heartwarming. It was just before Christmas, so maybe someone got it as a present, but still, I've never seen a bouquet like that before. It's great. It was roses that crossed your path, like incredible roses across your path. It's beautiful. It's absolutely a wonderful sign. And Tanjo says, now that you mentioned it, the roses in my yard have been blooming. Yes, there's a huge rose in my yard that started blooming recently too, now that we're talking about it. Just, it's not even February yet. There's a huge, gorgeous. I'll take a picture and share it later once it's daytime again. But yeah, it's beautiful. I think that's it for the comments overall. I did want to highlight one thing that we just heard about. So if anyone just heard what Francine was talking about and felt like it was kind of callous and cold, just keep in mind that her intention was not to be cold to our suffering of having lost loved ones or having lost people young. It's a terrible, terrible pain. And she's talked about how painful that is as well. But she is a spirit. She's on the other side. And she's talked about too that her responses and reactions to things are less like overwrought with emotion. And so she's not trying to be cold or dismissive to everyone's pain. She's actually just trying to offer spiritual perspective that there's other ways to look at death besides it just being the end. The whole point of spirituality is to not look at death as being the end, but being the beginning. Do you have some thoughts, Tom?
And her humor. So
yeah, and her humor.
Tossing in bits of humor in there too, which is always fun to listen. And yes, it reminds me, yes, this was from years ago, 1989.
1989, yeah.
This information should help your mind watch for patterns that are similar. So you go, oh, that's right. They spoke about something like this in, Francine mentioned this in Trance.
Mm-hmm.
It will give you, back to my analogy of puzzle pieces, it will give you pieces to say, oh, this fits with that, or why, different ways to think about death instead of feeling like, oh, that's the end, and so it's such a deep sorrow and despair over it. It's going to help with keeping us elevated. It's not like, oh, yippee, they're gone. It's, oh, yes, because we're human, we're going to have the grief. How harsh do you want that to affect you? How debilitating do you want it to be?
How harsh?
How
Exactly.
debilitated do you want to be with the grief?
Hmm. Yeah, there was one of the things that she just mentioned in what we just listened to. She said, "I want to encourage," paraphrasing, "I want to encourage you to think about a loved one dying as it's for themselves, as well as you can view it as a release from them as well." And sometimes I think that especially people in caretaker roles can feel a terrible kind of guilt about that, of being like,
Mm.
"Oh man, I don't want to feel any sort of positive. I feel terrible for feeling released." But so I like that she pointed that out, that she said it's okay to feel that it can be a release from the person. Their chart has ended. Their learning pattern of being in life has completed for this part of their journey. They're going to continue to love us and appreciate us on the other side, and they're not forgetting us, and they are okay with us moving on as well. It's okay to view it as a release if someone is going through a situation like that, which I know some people are. Please.
And if, as us being caretakers of people in the process of, dying, we, in our minds, give them permission to go,
Yes.
establish that release, that's going to help them. There's many times they're trying to hang on. Oh, I can't go, I
Yeah.
can't go. And it's like, wait a minute, no,
They're
go.
worried, they're afraid. Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Which is,
I it's one of the best gifts you can give somebody, honestly, because people are so scared of dying. And even in Christianity doesn't tell people what to expect. The pearly gates are not written about in the Bible. It's just myth. it's just like, oh, we don't, they don't know. So what does that leave people who are Christian? They're just like, I
they
think
can
that there's
ask
something
for
on the
it.
other side. It's yeah. Yeah.
They can ask for it
So
if they want.
sure, but there's just so much uncertainty out there, and to be able to sit somebody down, a loved one, and say, "Honey, you are going to be okay. Everyone here is going to be okay," and just kind of walk them through what you believed is going to happen, is that a loved one is going to come and take your hand. You're going to start feeling really, really amazing. A beautiful light is going to fill you with the most amazing feelings that you've ever felt before. And you just need to know that it's going to be okay and you don't have anything to worry about. That is the best gift that you can give someone who's kind of at that point. And it's okay to do. So it's okay. So, um, so yeah, that's one of the biggest criticisms that people have against God, is wondering, why is it that some people die young? Why is it that children are claimed? And it's not. It doesn't have, it's a Gnostic Christianity, Gnostic philosophy. It doesn't have anything to do with God reclaiming a child or anything like that. No, it's about the individual chooses to have a life. And no matter at what age they are, they might choose, I'm only going to live for 5 years in order to fulfill some sort of purpose. Maybe they just wanted to know what it's like to be a kid in this circumstance. Or maybe they wanted to know, maybe they elected, because they're an elevated soul, they elected a difficult circumstance where maybe they died young so that the parents can grow. Or maybe they had died young to be a victim so that other people can grow. That's a very elevated spiritual entity in there. And it's horrible for us to look at, but with context, we can see that there is an intelligent, wise individual in any age of entity, any age of person, and that sometimes they only wanted to go to like up to a certain age. I had a family member who always told people, even when he was young, he's like, Mom, is my uncle, but he would, tell my grandma, it's like, Mom, I don't see myself living past 30. And it kind of spooked people, kind of spooked family, but he didn't. He ended up trying to save someone else's life, and he went out as a hero. He crossed over as a hero, but that isn't God saying, okay, I'm going to reclaim you. No, it's the individual has made a choice that is very deep on the inside. So it's difficult, but that's what the context is.
We spoke about this very similar the story of the young
Oh,
child last week.
yes.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
the similar
Mhm.
circumstance. What's next?
What is next? Okay, we are going to go into segment number 2. We're going to start hearing about greed, and that greed is at the bottom of every true evil. Ooh, boy. Greed's ice cream headache hits you in the pit of your stomach. We're going to hear about difference between jealousy versus envy. And envy is a positive thing, actually. We're going to hear about how greed is kind of like this. Greed starts off as conditional love. That should be clarifying to a lot of people's relationships. There's a lot of folks out there like that struggle in situations like this. Then humans can miss the mark in 2 ways: failing to profess themselves, and number 2, not fighting battles that they feel don't involve them. So we're going to hear about all this.
All right. Here we go.
The one thing I do want to talk to you about that does seem to be or creates such a painful crossing is a case of greed, which has nothing to do with anyone in this room, nor Armida. In fact, she should have had a little bit more of it. Greed is probably, I was asked by Sylvia the other day what I felt or knew to be the worst wrong that was done to human beings. And I said to her, greed. And if you look at the bottom of almost anything that you find to be a total evil, you will find greed to be the snake that lies in the grass. Greed takes the form of not just money. It takes the form of, let's say, what Anne is going through with a boss, with an ego. The greed of accomplishment, of overbearingness, of gobbling up, of being carnivorous. There are people that are carnivorous people. You get near them and you feel like you're going to be eaten alive by them. Greed is the start of calumny and slander. Greed is the center of hurt, of pain, of evil. In other words, we could say, evil, greed is thy name. Now, let me make an analogy that was made the other day, which I found to be just absolutely stupendous. And that is, if you're eating an ice cream cone and you take off too big a bite and it gives you an ice cream headache, that's because you've been too greedy and bit into the cone. And Larry said, wouldn't it be wonderful if everyone had that kind of warning when you got too greedy, that you got an ice cream headache? You do have an ice cream headache when you get that way, except it hits you in the pit of your stomach. Unfortunately, when greed is done to you and hurt is done to you, get it also in the pit of your stomach. So when someone is greedy about their time, their love, their giving, it takes its toll on you. That's the evil that spills out. It infiltrates every part of life. Think of all the times that you've been hurt, and tell me if you don't feel that greed is at the bottom of it. Greed over somebody wanting too much of your time. Greed over the fact that you were more of a person than they were, and they wanted to be you. And they could not be you, so they try to destroy you and reject you. See, I think we've always thought of greed as being material possession. Sometimes that's very easy because that's easy to see, because you just give them what they want then. And they ought to sit in a pile of jewels clear up to their neck. That would be fine. And then they couldn't get away to bother anyone else. But it's the greed of time of hurt. And greed laps right into jealousy because that's the sister of it. So I'm jealous, thereby I will be greedy with everything. See, envy is fine. Envy is a distant cousin. Envy is something that keeps the blood going, and it's fine because you envy something, you want to emulate it, so you become like it. Yes.
I've observed in people something akin to love transferred into hate.
Yes.
Can you tie that up with greed? How does that translate?
Because love was never love in the beginning. It was a greedy thing. In other words, I will conditionally love you if you follow exactly my conditions in order to be loved. And when I cannot have it, I will go into hate and greed. You see, greed starts out with conditional love.
So it began as a false love.
A true love does not ever... And the truest love in the world is a love between friends. You may say to me, it is a love between mother and child. No, it isn't. That's a love, yes. That's a binding type of love. But a love that's given freely between friends is the purest love we see. You know why? Because it's an optional love. In other words, it is not fettered by anything except the fact that you freely and lovingly want to be with that person. And you've chosen that person to be your friend. So it's a purest form. And nothing should be sacrificed for that friendship. Everything should go before that friendship is at stake. And the loved one should be protected at all costs. If you feel that someone is a friend or a loved one, we find that the only discrepancy in human beings really is the fact that their failure to profess themselves so many times, or to fight battles in which they feel that they're not involved. And that's a tragedy, because if one person is involved, your time will come to be involved in something if you don't stand up and fight. It is like I've told you, if you experience through another person, you don't have to experience it. If you don't, if you shy away from it, if you do not help, someday your day will come in which you must do it, or it will be done to you. And more important, that is true, than do unto others as you would have them do unto you, because if you don't, it will be done to you. And that's something you've charted, not what we've charted for you, because you've taken in all aspects of what you are to do. And it's really so simple. You live simply, you live peacefully then, and you let go of all the things. Of course, there's grief and there's loss, but it's, as I've told you, so passing, so very transient. And it all ends up in the same place.
I remember listening to that in me, it was encouraging about envy of, seeing what other people have. And in essence, it's a trigger for me to say, oh, I can see myself doing that too. I would like to do that too. I would like to experience that or do that, get that
Absolutely.
versus, oh, I hate that.
If I can't have this, no one can.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a difference between jealousy and envy. And I thought that was such a refreshing relief to know that it is okay to see something that somebody else has and say, wait a second, I want to work towards that. That's something that I want. That's something that I want, but I'm not going to destroy anything or step on anyone to get there. No. I'm going to work on it. I'm going to figure out how to get there. And that is a healthy expression of it. That's marvelous clarification of healthy and envy being healthy,
I'm
jealousy
not
being
gonna.
the destructive part.
You're right. As being jealous, or sorry, being jealous sometimes leads to making jokes about somebody who has something that you don't. Thinking
Yeah.
you're being humorous, it's more of, oh,
Trying to
I'm
tear it
jealous.
down.
Exactly.
Ah. If you're trying to figure out what jealousy is and get a handle on this envy versus jealousy thing, we once heard I think Raheem was talking about this. I'll do the best I can to paraphrase, where he said, if you want to get to the heart of what jealousy is, it is like envision two women in a room together and there's a baby there, and one of them, the baby belongs to one of them, and the other woman says, well, that's gonna be my baby. It has nothing to do with them. It's nothing to do with that second person. That is not something that they created. They did not create that baby. And for that person to be like, no, I'm going to walk in there and I'm going to take that. That is a complete miss of spirituality, rather than just go say, I'm going to go do my own thing. That is the difference. So I think this is fascinating. Let's see here. There were a number of nuggets that we just listened to. I don't know about you. Oh man. Okay. I can't help but appreciate the current climate of our kind of politics out on the outside, and all sorts of things happening out in the world. We do not take sides. We do not pick political sides. We don't do any of that. I do think that it's really interesting that what we just heard was that an individual, from Francine's perspective on the other side, that humans can miss the mark, and first way is failing to profess themselves, like repeatedly saying like, oh, I don't believe in this. Oh, I don't believe in this. Instead of just saying like, no, this is my values. Like, no, this is what I believe to be right and wrong. So that's number one. And then number two is not fighting battles that you feel don't involve you. And she was saying that in the grand scheme of things, that if something is kind of adjacent to you, is from what I'm understanding, if some situation is kind of adjacent to you and you don't step in to say, no, this is the right thing, this is the wrong thing, then that situation is inevitably going to come back around and get you. Is that your takeaway as well?
Yes.
Share your thoughts, please.
I would say you and I need to learn how to come up with examples of that. Of if you were out and about if you wanted to protest something, and if you felt you wanted to protest but you didn't protest, others were out, that might be, and it's up to you to decide whether you should be out there doing something or not. The gentleman that got shot recently, he was out, it appeared to me he was out trying to help this woman and got involved, and he happened to look like a bad person to the local authorities and got shot in the process. Seems like he stepped up and helped out.
Mm-hmm.
Which, if he hadn't, okay, he's got to live with that idea of not having help. It was part of he was living out his curiosity, his karma, his, I don't want to say, I don't like using the karma that much. It's
sure,
but he stepped up and it's like the firemen. There's an analogy about the firemen of somebody's falling over a cliff and the fireman dives after them, risking their own life to save the one that's falling off the cliff. Why did he do it? It's being there, participating in that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to take another. I think I'm on my second or third listen to. No, honestly, fourth listen to that particular segment because it caught me so off guard with like the context of all the things happening in our world right now, and when you mentioned finding analogies, what came to mind was that poem from. There was a poem that a German Lutheran pastor wrote in response to, like in 1946, it was a post-war confessional piece where he wrote about his experience of not speaking out. And so the situation kept coming around. And it was like kind of like a national or like a group or like a group karma or whatever it was. Don't want to judge it too hard and put too many labels on it. But he said, like, so the first couple lines are, first they came for the communists and I did not speak out because I was not a communist. Then they came for the socialists and I did not speak out because I was not a socialist. And then they came for the unionist. Then they came for the Jews and I did not speak out because I was a Jew. And then they came for me and there was no one left to speak out for me. And that's what came to mind listening to what she just described.
There you go.
Well, yeah, very, very interesting.
I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, it gives me chills. I just want to listen to it again and kind of do some reflection, because I think that a lot of people feel like, oh, it's not my problem. Do I have a right to say something? And I think you always have a right to say something in the case of treating others with kindness and being on the side of treating people with respect. I think everyone has a right to say something for those things. So that's my personal thoughts on it. All right.
See if there's any 2 comments and then we'll jump on to the next.
Yeah, Reverend Danny says these are very spiritually elevated words from Francine. I completely agree. I thought this was a very moving piece that we just listened to. I think we've got a new listener, Faith. Hello, very much kindness your way. She says, fantastic program, although I don't like their terminology. Yeah, I apologize for that. Just take what feels good to you and take what you want, leave the rest. It's perfectly okay. And anytime I get into learning about a new thing, it always kind of does feel like, oh, I have to do a little bit of extra work to learn the terminology and whatnot. But so I apologize for that. But glad that you're here, and I hope that you can find something that that you find useful for you in your everyday life. I'll say one more thing. And Jason made a comment about, I think, the difference between jealousy versus envy. Jason says, so one is to deprive others of something versus envy, which is to strive for the self.
Right.
I think that's, very well said. Beautiful. Thank you so much, Jason. That's my husband. But yeah, I think we can maybe move on to our next segment.
All right.
Then. Okay, so we have...
Hey, where'd I go?
I don't know. You froze for me. Oh, goodness. Uh-oh.
Well, that's unique.
Oh, no. You disappeared completely. All right. I'm going to read the notes for the third segment, and maybe that'll help us transition. We can do some technical difficulties, brain troubleshooting here. Okay. So third segment, we are going to hear about from cancer oncologist Dr. Carl Symington, treating the depression in cancer patients. Then you can get mad at a depressed person to help them ultimately get out of their terrible, terrible rut that they're in. And we're going to hear about try to avoid letting depression or cancer or illness enmesh with your lifestyle, because it does even more to keep you in that rut. So we're going to hear about some depression strategies here.
Francine, during your incarnation, did you contemplate the mystery of death, and did you resolve it before you were killed?
No, I didn't, Jean. I was only 19 when I died in life. I didn't resolve it. I got speared by a conquistador trying to save my daughter. At 19, I don't think anybody confronts death. Although 19 in the Aztec culture was not young. Our lifespans were about 35 to 40 if we were ancient. So I had already had, my daughter was already almost 7 years old at 19.
My sister-in-law told me that my brother just decided to slip away. Is that one of the exit points?
Absolutely. And that's what I'm afraid that is going to happen to Armida. Because your brother had cancer too, as you know. Yeah, see, that's the only thing, because the illness itself creates such a depression. And they have never really explored the depressing factor of cancer. The only one that has ever gotten into that is Carl Symington. And he is the only one who has addressed the issue of the depression within the cancer patient. And he's had marvelous successes. As you well know, he's done the black nights and the white nights and the visualization, and keeps them laughing and up. He's had almost an 87% remission in cancer patients.
Her exact words were, he decided to slip away.
Absolutely. That was his exact verbiage. Yes. And I think part of the problem is like I said, the depression of the illness too. And the way society treats people with cancer is just barbaric. I mean, you can see people, almost some people, not really true Gnostic spiritual people, cringe when they hear the word cancer. It's terrible. You think it was leprosy. Yes.
Now, if I return to work, will my cancer return?
I wouldn't be so quick to be running back to work. No, of course not. But I wouldn't. But I don't want to put you under a stress until you're fully within, you know. See, Armida was fine, and then the whole family flocked back in again to start chewing on her. Yes.
I have a grandmother that's just been diagnosed. Is she going to make it?
No. She's not going to make it.
How much longer?
I don't think any more than maybe 5-6 months at maximum.
Francine, what can we do for people who have cancer or have had cancer to deal with their depression?
I think by constantly even getting mad at them.
And telling them that they don't
Yes.
have to be depressed?
Yes, make them get up. Yes.
I was thinking about my sister. She's not ill now. She did have cancer, but she still is worried about getting it again, and she often gets depressed.
Yes, there is such a thing as a cancer type of personality, though, that pulls it into them. And that's a person who holds things in, like your sister. Is sweet to everybody, tries to be good, holds it in, and bottles it up, and it just eats. You almost have to get them to change their whole framework of life. And some people would rather slip away than do that.
So teach them about righteous anger and
Righteous anger, and not to let people in their life that are, you know, going to chew them to pieces.
Thank you.
Usually, you see, the trouble is, by the time you get to the person, their life is so enmeshed in all of this livelihood that they've set up for themselves. That's why cancer in a foreign country or in a primitive country is almost unheard of. Almost unheard of. They have the lowest death rate from cancer in primitive cultures. Society and intermingling of all kinds of different types of ego does cause cancer, unless the person is able to throw it off. Yes?
In the last few weeks, I've been having a lot of situations that have occurred only on the left side of my body, with the hair, the hearing, skin, but the worst of all with my knee and stuff, which really keeps me from doing the exercise. Do you have any clues about
It's on the right side of your body.
It's all on the left.
Left. The right side, as you well know, is emotion. So it's your emotional side that's blocking and creating that.
Yeah, I realize that, but I'm saying until...
Okay, but then try to get your intellect, say every morning when you get up, you want your intellect and emotion to be cemented together. Because if everybody in this room were to raise their hand, you will find out that when people are hurt, they either hurt themselves all on the right or all on the left. And that shows that one side of the actual brain is being blocked by the other side. In other words, you have to cry it out, scream it out, whatever, your frustration.
I feel like I've been doing that.
Apparently not enough.
And not enough? You must be kidding. No, wait a minute. And how about contacting like a sports medicine doctor for the knee problem?
Oh yes, because you have a slippage of the tendon there.
That's what I was wondering about.
Yeah.
Yes. Does Michelle have any learning disabilities or any other physical problems I should be aware of?
Slight dyslexia.
So I'm doing the right thing?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you must get the testing for auditory as well as sight dyslexia. You know, there's two types.
Right. Thank you.
Yes.
Last time you told us our guides would take us out, I believe I was taken out to the other side. Did they have a party?
Everybody was taken out. Almost everybody was out. Well, I saw almost every face here out.
I saw candles, and it was all women, and I felt as if I was the only one from this side. Did I merge with someone?
Yes.
Who was
A
it?
male.
Who was it?
Well, it's no one you know on this side, but his name's Andrew.
Look at my... Well, I knew there was somebody that came toward me.
Wonderful, wasn't it?
Okay. It's not, the day before I had asked to Ashley project, I don't do this often, Francine, but sometimes you have a purpose. Someone took me by the hand, and I had a very prominent nose.
Yeah, very sharp nose.
And I think I went to a Pueblo type of, who was that?
Andrew.
That my
Soulmate. And she had her sister visit her and take her to Africa. People went back to past lives. Yes.
Francine, that next day I was really forlorn. Is that because I did go out?
Oh,
and I was
yes.
so-
And that feeling of homesickness is just ominous.
were there candles there?
Yes, at different
I
layers.
saw little candles. It just seemed like little silver.
Yeah, balls of light.
There was like a party going on.
Yes.
Who was it who pointed to me? Was that
It was me. Some people went out that very night. Some people didn't go out until the weekend.
Okay. But on the weekend? It seemed like I was...
Oh, I saw you.
You saw me?
I saw you Saturday.
This Saturday?
Yes.
That makes sense. It was somewhere around there, I remember. Yeah.
Yes.
Sylvia was there, of course.
Yes.
Well, here I aren't, but I'm going to try something. I wanted to finish this before before the trance and instead of disrupting it, but I got to try and reload my screen to see if I can get back on here It might kick us off. I don't know. We'll find out. Let's see. You're muted, but for entertainment purposes, there I am. But anyway, let me try and refresh here.
Good. Okay.
See what the heck is going on. All right. 1, 2, 3. Do I want to read?
Okay. Well, okay. He's refreshing, and Tom, if you're listening, cannot hear you. So, Jason. Oh, okay. Well, Jason. All right, Jason's trying to help. He says BTS. I don't know if that. I don't know if that is helpful information for you or not, but okay. While Tom is troubleshooting, I'm going to share a few comments. Let's see here. First, I'm going to read some of your comments. Faith says, "This is my first time hearing Francine. I look forward to hearing more of what she has to say." Yeah, she is such a marvelous speaker, and it is fascinating listening to trances where it's Francine and then hearing Rahim, which is Sylvia's secondary spirit guide, and he has a completely different style and personality, and it is just absolutely fascinating to hear their incredible wealth of knowledge, because you've got kind of like a Venn diagram that overlaps, but they have different specialties, and it's really, really fascinating to listen to them and hear all the incredible knowledge that they have to share. So I'm really glad that you found it. It's really cool. Jason says BTS translates to behind the scenes. Yeah, look at this setup that Tom has. It's really impressive. Goodness. Tangel says, Tom, that is a serious setup. I completely agree. Let's see here. Reverend Danny said earlier, while the trance was playing, he said, Francine tells it like it is. That is true. And okay, I'm going to, all right, I'm going to, somebody, one of our listeners says, shared a personal tactic. So I'll read this, and I thought this was really nice. He says, I have changed my thoughts to do away with the war between the name, the Republican and the name, the Democrat and the name. So to do away with those two names altogether, and to just replace it with we the people. I think that's really, really a lovely strategy on the inside. I keep telling myself to, just like a mantra over and over, everyone has a different point of reference. And that is exact wordings that the best that I can remember was from Rahim. Oh gosh, now I'm not sure, but it was exact wordings. Everyone has a different point of reference. And that's what politics comes down to, is what we've heard on the trances. So if someone comes up and they've got a point of reference that is very, maybe more business minded, or maybe more like they've had to really struggle with taxes, and that's going to be on their mind. That's their point of reference. Someone has come up where their main struggle has been around racism and feeling just terrible injustice and inequality, then that is going to be their point of reference. And both sides are true. It's just a different point of reference. And so that's, for me, is what helps me always kind of take the edge off, and just remember, inside of each person, there's a person who is usually a very good person who is passionate about something, and they're trying to express their point of reference to make things just better for life altogether. So I don't think folks are too different when it comes down to those words. And that's how I get to we the people. So we go over to just one. I'll have one more comment. and that I thought was really interesting. If anyone was listening to this and kind of had a raised eyebrow about Francine saying that there's almost like a cancer type of personality, I don't want anybody to walk away with this and think, what an outrageous thing to put on anyone who gets cancer. She's talked in the past that cancer does happen. Okay, I hear you, Tom.
Oh, really?
Okay, yeah. So I'll just finish this thought real quick while you.
Go ahead.
Okay. What she's saying is that because she's talked about how other societies, including when she was in life in ancient Maya civilization, that sometimes people did get cancer, but they just called it something else and it didn't take over their life. So what she says here is that in our current culture, in our current Western society, that the more people like really repress themselves to be always sweet, to be always accommodating, to not make any ruffles, to not ruffle any feathers, to just be as accommodating as possible. She said that people who are repressing their emotions to that extent, to not expressing their righteous anger, to not expressing their full, like every key on their piano of emotions, and only limiting it to just a few, the ones that are socially welcome, of being accommodating and sweet and nice, that they see that as leading to higher rates of cancer. So it's not saying that that's all cancer. It's not saying that it's not pointing fingers saying it's 100% this individual's fault or whatnot. But if we can help people to express all of their emotions, it just leads to better health outcomes. That is my personal takeaway from that. And I hope that helps. Let's see here. I'm going to glance one more time at the comments, and then Tom, I'm going to look at my phone and see if you've texted me directions about what you want to do. So, Reverend Danny asks, does calling cancer a cancer act as a cancer? I'm not sure. I think that using the least, from what I understand of all of our philosophy, if we can try to call something by the least scary name that we can, I think it seems to have it seems to bolster the person to not be so scared of it, so that it doesn't exacerbate the fear response and all of the like negative health outcomes that comes with having the willpower get assaulted and be like, oh no, this is the worst outcome, I'm going to completely fall apart. Sylvia said that she tried not to let anybody tell her father that he had cancer. And I see Tom nodding in the background, because Sylvia was very afraid that the second that he heard, oh, you've got cancer, that he was going to quickly decompensate and pass away. And that did turn out to be the case. I'm not sure how fast he died, but it sounded like it was pretty quick. Like as soon as somebody told him, oh yeah, you've got cancer, he just quickly decompensated and passed away. So I think that I'm not sure if that answered your question or not, but okay, cool. Reverend Danny says, makes sense. Thank you.
Hey, can you hear me?
Now I can. Yes. Fabulous.
But is it in the background or like a microphone on the other side of the room?
Yeah, that's okay.
Oh, okay.
Maybe we can just go with whatever you want to do next. We could go to meditation.
Yeah.
Okay.
You were asking about, sorry, I'm hearing a delay of myself. So let me try and get.
Oh, that's annoying. No problem.
Well, I can't. It's just the way things are like. Yes. The second time Sylvia's dad went to see the doctor, she couldn't keep the doctor quiet and said, hey, you have X number of months to live. And that's what he took to heart and passed.
Mm.
and lived, I don't know, what, 10, 12 years with it prior to that.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes.
Yeah. Interesting.
Meditation? Yes, meditation.
Yeah. All right. Meditation time.
For those of you that need to pay attention to what you're doing, don't pay attention to us. But for the rest of us, we're going to enjoy the meditation. We encourage you to sit with your feet flat on the floor and your palms upward on your lap. This is tough to try and memorize this. That usually comes normal with echo in the background.
Okay.
Anyway,
It's okay.
so here comes, I'm going to pick out the meditation.
Okay. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Here we go. Enjoy.
Find a comfortable position, sitting in a chair with your feet flat on the floor and your palms upward on your lap. Now, take 3 deep breaths to start relaxing the mind and the body. Now, when you are ready, close your eyes.
The Grecian Temple. I want you to take yourself to a beautiful Grecian-looking temple. Move past the massive columns and open its doors. Now feel, sense, and visualize Jesus coming up on your right side. You see his reddish-brown hair, large brown eyes, and his beautiful hands raised to touch you. He is tall and slender in a garment of white and purple, and a beautiful golden light surrounds him. With him is Asna, the mother. They hold an image of infinity in a beautiful light beam. To their left is our own Father God, who is called Am, and a beam of light. Here is a true Trinity. When Christ touches you, you feel the embodiment of health. Put yourself in this circle along with anyone else you wish. From the top of this Grecian building, you see sunlight shining through stained glass, seeming to move and rotate in the sky. The sun hits amber, green, orange, blue, and gold light. It keeps rotating so that each one of these colors fills your heart, kaleidoscopically sanctifying your being. Above all, you are given the truth of your own intellect, whatever that may be. Your yearning for God lifts you up divinely so that you can touch a part of God, sanctified. You can now ask for your life to be easier because you are on the right track. Ask that from this day forward, negativity should not hit you. Even if you must deal with it, it will not be a part of you, but will be dealt with as if through a plexiglass barrier. Ask this in the name of Mother God, Father God, Christ, the Holy Spirit, and your own Christ consciousness. Bring yourself up now all the way, feeling blessed, loved, protected, and so full of grace. God bless you and keep you.
Now, on the count of 3, come all the way back. 1, 2, 3. Fully and totally awake.
We made it.
Beautiful. We made it. Excellent. Okay.
If you have any questions about what we shared, feel free to post in the what? I can't hear or speak at the same time. Post in the chat or email us questions to newspirit@novus.org. I'm glad you don't hear what I'm hearing, but that's okay. We appreciate listeners both live and on demand. Show your appreciation for New Spirit Radio by sharing, liking, and subscribing. What else am I going to do? Check us out on YouTube. If you're on Facebook, check us out. No, if you're on YouTube, check us out on Facebook. Look for Chris's website, chrisrightnow.com, and you can learn more about our philosophy. And you'll get monthly recordings and a newsletter if you start a study group. You can check that out on our website. Thank you. What else? I've spoken about Sunday services, and I'm going to mess that up because I can't hear myself very well. However, I am going to go through the novena as best I can. Maybe that's going to help because I can't hear you, but now I can't hear me twice. The novena. It's a novena. It's a special prayer ceremony that was given to us by Francine, and we are all going to say a phrase together 3 times, and then I'll tell you what question to ask afterwards. This is connected because we have heard from Francine and Rahim that we are a spark of the divine, spark of Father God. And our tenet number 10 says, let no one convince you that you are less than a God. Do not let fear imprison your spiritual growth. The phrase is, I am God, I am part of God, I am God. All things are possible because I am God. So we'll say that together. Doesn't matter when you're watching this. We'll say it together 3 times, and then I'll tell you what question to ask afterwards. And we're going to do that 3 times. I'll keep us on pace in following, just follow my lead. And say the phrase with me, and I'll tell you what to be asking. What I do encourage that visualize that we're all holding hands together and we're in a huge room or maybe out in that wonderful black velvety space somewhere, whatever you're comfortable with. And I'll lead us off. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. Now, ask for things for yourself. Okay, here's the second one. Here we go. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. Now, ask for things for others. All right, and the last one. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. I am God. I am part of God. I am God. All things are possible because I am God. Now picture our light going out like a beacon of light for others seeking this spiritual knowledge.
Amen.
What else? I do encourage you to think of something. Maybe I should face that way so you can see my face.
Yes. If it's
But now
not
I can't
too
read.
jarring.
Now I can't read the teleprompter.
You're totally okay. You're totally okay. Whatever it is that you need to do,
Well,
we're going to get through it.
encourage. Yeah. I usually encourage, think of something that you appreciate from last week and carry that thought with you next week. And in line with that, here's the rest of this speech. Now show your appreciation to Francine and Raheem for researching all of this wonderful knowledge, Sylvia for coming to this insane asylum of the universe to start this movement, and for helping us find some peace of mind and grace while we're here, Asna for helping us and protecting us, and Father God for providing the most prestigious school for us to experience, learn, and satisfy our unique spark of curiosity. Appreciate Bobby Gold for the background help, and especially Sammy and Javon for the wonderful theme music for us. Writing, setup, and hosting is Reverend Catherine Taylor. Editing, technical direction, and hosting is Reverend Tom Bigley. And now, a prayer by Sylvia. It's here somewhere. Oh, winter solstice evening. It cues up, right? There we go. Here's a prayer by Sylvia.
Winter solstice prayer for evening. Dear Mother Asna, please know us by name, know our faces and know our hearts. Make us strong throughout this year so that no matter what adversity comes, we are able to handle it. Know that this life is only transient and that it is a passing star in a dark night. We also ask as we pass through this dark night of life that we be like a streaking comet, that we give off brilliance so that everyone that follows after us will be able to know us, that the name of Gnosticism will be on everyone's lips, and your name, dearest Mother, will be heralded throughout the world. Again we ask this in the name of our Lord Jesus, Father God, Mother God, in the Christ consciousness and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
And Kat's gonna tell us.
We are sending heartfelt prayers for positivity to everyone, with joy, prosperity, peace of mind, good health. Good night.
As if you were not there, all praise went to the Father. We were so unaware that through the years you've shed your tears for all the pain we bear. Oh, Asna, how we love you. Place no one above you. Always thinking of you. Bless your name. You are Mother God. You've planted every blade of grass, creator of the stars. And when I'm feeling down and out, you afraid.